Gotta open your mind. You want? Hey, you want to lift the box up?
Carry on, carry on.
Leave that alone there, B. Don't worry. Hey,
I couldn't help but
over
notice.
there. You worry about your side. We'll worry over here. I think aren't these stairs?
Jay.
Okay, good morning, everybody, and thanks for joining us today. And you know, with every tragic incident brings some great things, and as we're going to discuss today, and the Attorney General too as well, because of these significant and tragic incidents that we are a part of in law enforcement, we get a chance in life to be blessed with these beautiful families, and this is one of those. And Kirsten Bridegan will be speaking today, along, of course, with her beautiful daughter Bexley, and I know London's in the crowd somewhere else too as well. But also too, I'm joined today by our Attorney General. Melissa Nelson is our state attorney, of course, as you know, to the north, which is prosecuting this case. So we're going to refrain from any questions from her today, please. Next to her, of course, is the Bridegan family, which is Kirsten and her daughter. And then, of course, R.J. Larizza, who's our state attorney in the 7th Circuit. And then our great partner with ATF, Kurt Howard. So as I open up today, of course, this is about Kirsten. It obviously is about you and your family and what you've done as you've stepped forward with this tragic incident. Honestly, I call it medicinal for me. If you don't know, Kirsten lives in St. Johns County. And what we did in St. Johns County is when we have these families like the Bailey family and Madison Shemitz and her mom, Jackie, when we get these families together, there's no better people to get in a room that can actually discuss tragedy more than them. So what's happened here in St. Johns County is we made it a mission that we bring these families together that have been victims of violent crimes. Today, of course, I got Madison and her mom, Jackie, sitting in front of me, and Forrest Bailey and Stacy Bailey, Tristan's mom and dad, who are sitting here today, too, as well. Again, we were brought together because of these tragic incidents. So without further ado, I welcome you here today. This is a great day, but again, let's focus on why we're here. We're here for the award from the Attorney General's office, Back to Blue. It's for Kirsten Bridegan and Bexley in London, and we hope you enjoy, of course, this press conference. Without further ado, our friend, of course, from Tallahassee. I'm excited for you, Attorney General. You and I have worked together for years in the governor's office, James, and I just can't thank you enough for coming here today and finishing out this process that now Senator Moody left. So please, Attorney General, please join me up here.
Thank you. Well, thank you. It's good to be over here in St. John's. We're here today to celebrate our next award winner for the Back to Blue Awards, and these are awards that the Attorney General's office has been giving out to people that have made great sacrifice to help law enforcement. And that can include both law enforcement officers. We've had some of those winners in the past, and I would expect we'll have more of those winners again in the future, as well as civilians that have made meaningful strides to do things to help law enforcement. And as I've said now, I think I'm on week 5 or 6 of the job. One of the most exciting things about this new job for me has been to join up and be an even closer team member to law enforcement. We're very fortunate to have state leaders in Florida that back the blue, back the green, back the red, that back our law enforcement and first responders and understand that there's lots of things we need in life in this state, but public safety is paramount. If you don't have public safety, nothing else matters. So I want to thank these guys. I'm going to be the greatest supporter of law enforcement in this state. If they need something, I'm always going to have their back. So without further ado, I do want to honor Kirsten. You know, many people in this room know the story of what happened several years ago where her husband Jared was shot. Very, very tragic. 2-year-old Bexley was in the car in very close proximity and witnessed it. And ended up at the police station without a parent there. And while we know these guys, they're the most loving and caring people. They're there for us. For a little kid, it can be intimidating. I've got a 2-year-old at home, and it's funny, he associates the police with sirens and scary situations, and he'd say, you know, he'd do something wrong, I'd get onto him, and he's like, oh, you know, the policemen gonna come get me, and I would joke with him and say, they might, and I realized the horror in his face, you know, that we work with Florida Highway Patrol, and they flash their lights, and he gets all nervous. But I realized I need to correct this right away. These guys are not scary. Like, if you see a law enforcement officer, that should give you a sense of relief, of protection, of safeguard. And so Kirsten, when many people could have shut down, could have found it hard to function, she found it in herself to put together a really creative idea and to put these boxes together, these Bexley's boxes, filled with items that make kids feel welcome, toys, sippy cups, something to pass the time and, you know, provide comfort in a tough situation. So I think she's at, we say 66 boxes I'd like to make sure every sheriff's office, every police department in the state has one by the end of the year, and you've got my commitment that we'll do everything to make that happen. So without further ado, I want to award her. We'll have a better framed award. Again, I just got to the office, so I need to step this up a little bit. But for today, you get a little certificate here, and Bexley's here too, so it's great to be here. Thank you.
So much.
You want to say a few words?
I'm going to keep this brief because sorry. Do you want to say something?
Take your time.
Okay, thanks.
Ashley, why don't you come on up? Because our victim advocates, when our victim advocates put their hands on these people that they basically spend a lot of time with, I have Ashley, our victim advocate, come on up here. And
Thanks, Dad. Thanks, Dad. Thank you. 3 years ago, we lost. We lost the man that meant the most to us. And our lives just kind of felt a little chaotic. But as the sheriff said, the Bexley Boxes and being able to help other kids who might be in a similar situation has really been therapeutic. And not only that, but I felt so blessed to have so many people, a lot of who are in this room today, surround us with love and support and help us know that we're not alone. My kids know way too many cops. But hopefully it'll, scare them into being good people as they grow up. I just want to thank each and every person who has supported us, who has donated to the boxes, who has donated time, who has prayed for us, sent us a kind message, driven by our house when something uncomfortable has happened, and just worked on Jared's case, prosecuted those responsible for it. We're just so grateful. And I know that without that support, we would not be here today. We would not be as happy and thriving as we would be otherwise. This is a huge honor, but really, this isn't an award just for us. This is for every single person that has helped us on this journey. And we want to continue to do our part to give back because we know what it's like to be in that darkest hour, and we want to make sure that others' darkest hour is a little bit brighter. So thank you so much for the award, and thank each and every person here today for their role that they have played in this as well. Thanks.
So I'm going to help her out just a little bit. February 16, 2022. Goodness gracious. Once again, we were brought together with another family because of a horrible incident. This lady met with me here in my office. She brought Bexley with her. I think London was there too as well, running chaotic around the office. And we sat down and talked. How can we help you out? She's like, I live in your county, which we knew. And we said, how can we help you out? She said, you can help us out with this. You're box number 7. We were box number 7 in the St. Johns County Sheriff's Office. I immediately made phone calls to Chief I know Harold's over there and Chief Cuthbert from the city of St. Augustine, city of St. Augustine Beach. I said, you guys need a box. Absolutely, we're all in. I called Sheriff Leeper. I called Sheriff TK Waters. I called every single sheriff I could possibly think of going, why do we not already have these in our offices? And she came in here and it was like a bunch of working bees at Christmas time. And we made boxes. Our entire staff, our awesome volunteers and our full-time workers in here were physically putting boxes together. And then at the time, Lieutenant Harrigan, I said, you got a mission. What is it? You and Bridegan are going to deliver boxes across the entire state of Florida. Sounds good. They loaded them up. I believe you were involved too as well, Christina. Anyways, loaded these boxes and we started delivering them to our brothers and sisters. Now I believe there's 17 states. Actually 17 states. She's on box number 66 as we speak today. And this is about her and her family, and this is medicinal for her. So, Kirsten, thank you for what you did because you educated us on something that we were missing here, too, as well. But, again, our thoughts and prayers with you and your family, but it couldn't be in the better prosecutor's hands than Melissa Nelson in her office. So, Attorney General, I apologize.
Sure. Thanks again, Ashley, victim advocates, families. Again, nobody knows what it's like until you go through it. So what you're doing is so important, being here for one another. That is the most important thing. So thank you, and where I can help or we can help, please let us know. Thanks to our state attorneys and members of law enforcement. Again, if we don't have public safety, we have nothing else. And so we will be committed. We're going to be a law and order state. People that commit these egregious crimes are going to be held accountable. We're going to go after them with the full force of the law. There's no tolerance whatsoever. But today, we do get to celebrate a small silver lining, but a silver lining and some good that can come out of tragedy. We're going to be there for kids. Having 3 little ones, you're going to hear a lot from me the next couple of years. We're going to protect our kids no matter what and leave this state better than we found it. So with that, I'll take any questions.
Attorney General, I hate to take you off topic here, but Mayor Bridegan over in Jacksonville is deciding whether or not to veto a local immigration bill that was passed by our city council. Given the letter you sent to city officials over in Fort Myers, I mean, what would you recommend to the mayor when she's finalizing this decision?
Well, I haven't read the local bill in detail, but you know, five or so years ago, 5 or more years ago, the legislature and the governor executed a law that said that Florida is not going to be a sanctuary state. We are not allowed to have sanctuary jurisdictions. And at the beginning of the year in special session, they came back after after President Trump was sworn in and further expanded on this section of law and made clear that local governments, local law enforcement needs to do everything possible with the resources available to help the federal government execute federal law and keep our streets safe. The state made it a crime to come into this state illegally. We just a few days ago, we had another situation where, 2 people that should not have been in the country tragically molested a young person on a cruise ship in this state. We are not a country, we do not have sovereignty if we do not have border protection and if we do not know who's coming into this country. So when it comes to locals, I know you had Fort Myers City Council looking, last week at whether or not they were going to block their law enforcement from entering into a 287G federal agreement to help the feds. That is not acceptable, and that contradicts the law that was duly passed at the beginning of the year and that the voters sent our legislature to Tallahassee to achieve. So when it comes to municipalities and local governments going forward, if you're going to take action to prevent law enforcement from executing the law, you are going to be subject to penalty, civil action, and possibly suspension. So again, I don't know all the details of that local law, but I commend the city if they're looking to do things to, better enforce rule of law, ensure that people are in this country legally, and that we are protecting our families and our kids. We're going to get it done, one way or the other. I'd like to not use state dollars if we don't have to. That's typically the priority, but you got my word, we're going to get it done this year, one way or the other.
So just to follow up, the piece of that bill that maybe has some correlation to what happened in Fort Myers is it would basically create a duty for city agencies to cooperate with immigration officials. I don't know the details of the new state law, but I mean, would the details possibly be seen as sending a message to city agencies that they shouldn't cooperate with federal immigration officials, or?
Cities should be doing everything possible with the resources they have to help the federal government execute federal immigration laws. That has been made clear, and if a city official takes action to impede or prevent law enforcement from undergoing the necessary training and participating with the feds to get these people back where they came from, then I do believe the law is violated and that there will be penalties for that. So everybody in local government should be on notice. This is not discretionary. We as a state made a decision, our legislature voted, and the governor signed a bill that made very clear we are going to work with the federal government and we are going to execute federal immigration laws. No excuses.
Great. Thank you,
All right,
everybody.
thanks everybody. I appreciate it. Thanks for being here.
I appreciate you. Thank you. You can get you from the Bexley Box with the Attorney General. Yeah. I'll take a break.
Can we get George? Commander, we call him George. This is Commander Harrigan. He's on our board and has been amazing, so we need him in the picture.
Don't make me laugh. Good.
Yep.
We're basically going to hire her at some point in the near future, so she'll be on staff here. So, you good? That was fun, huh?
I still have to buy this one.
Or with them? Can we get one with you too, Sheriff? Where'd Bexley go?
Bexley. She's gone.
All right, we lost her. It's all right.
Hey, good to see you. What's up, brother?